I have said it that there's only one person that can stop President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in northern Nigeria, especially northern Nigeria. Even with INEC manipulations, there is only one person that has that ability to stop President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in northern Nigeria. That person is Buhari, former President Buhari. I would say that even though he performed woefully, he has a lot of support from politicians and people in northern Nigeria. We have reports that APC governors went visiting former President Buhari, and there are some things that are outlined in that visit. Most APC politicians from the north are aggrieved with the appointment of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and many of them are pressuring to decamp from the party in northern Nigeria. I told you that the Fulani, they have a way they think, or northern politicians, because the Fulani has inflicted that their mentality on northern Nigeria. They head Arewa, they head the political institution, they are the head of the traditional institution and religious institutions. So that their mentality, they have inflicted it, they have rubbed it off an average northerner. So most APC politicians are very, very angry with the appointments of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In fact, it seems that Tinubu has outperformed Buhari when it comes to nepotism. The other time, Rufai said that this is a Yoruba-led federal government. Although Tinubu said, I'm going to copy my boss. I'm going to step into the shoes of my boss, continuing the legacy of Buhari, and Tinubu is doing just fine. So I have this report from AIT. APC governors visit ex-president Buhari in Kaduna. Let me read this from a northerner. The water is getting hot gradually. By the time it starts to get hotter, Tinubu will be sleeping in Buhari's house, begging him to deliver northern votes for him. Then he turned El-Rufai to his driver and achieved his goal. Who else will he use now? Because who else will he use in northern Nigeria to garner votes? I can say three most popular politicians in northern Nigeria. We have Atiku, we have El-Rufai, and we have Buhari. These three can pull weight in the north. Atiku on his own is not going to, does not have anything to do with APC. Does not have anything to do with APC. El-Rufai is aggrieved. He's left the APC and gone to SDP. And I think Buhari supports El-Rufai leaving. Forget what Buhari is saying, that I will never leave the party that helped me. This is politics. Well, politicians, they understand themselves and they understand how to play themselves. So Buhari told them that I am not going to stop anybody from leaving the APC. People like Nwajuiba, people like Malami, most of these guys are preparing to leave the APC because of the appointment of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he's not showing concern to the CPC faction of the APC that has not left the APC as we speak. Now, I will put it out here that Tinubu has to spend his 8 years, or a Southerner has to spend his 8 years. If there's any coalition, whatever coalition you are bringing together, must present a Southerner. We are having rumors upon rumors, rumors here, rumors there, that this coalition, they are also considering to put out a P2B 2027, and he will assure them that he's going to spend one tenure, 4 years. There's this agreement that is being put out there that P2B is being asked to spend one tenure, and the North will support him. Well, I know that politics in Nigeria is all about power, it's not about the people. So that's why you see all these permutations and calculations and what have you. So only Buhari in northern Nigeria has the capacity to stop President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because the vote in the north is needed. Northern Nigeria, the votes in northern Nigeria is needed, very, very much needed. And if they break the ranks in APC in northern Nigeria, well, on Tinubu's side, we don't know who is standing with Tinubu at this point in time, but I know that the Ribadu is standing solidly behind Tinubu, Ribadu. I'm very sure of that one. I don't know of any other person who is strong and has prominence in the North, who has influence in the North, that is standing with Tinubu now. If you're watching this broadcast, you can mention it on the comment section. Which politician, aside like Ribadu, which other politician? I'm not sure the vice president is happy. You see, the president left, the vice president also carrying on wala, come on for Nigeria. And this is a party, well, people never believed that Jagaban will be able to hold everybody to ransom like this. They never believe so. If you watch Arsenal, I will say a big one to Arsenal. Arsenal beat Real Madrid 3-0. I'm an Arsenal fan. I'm very, very happy. Rice took the first free kick. The first free kick, he took it. He got it into goal. One of the best free kicks in the world. Much more than that of this England man. So the second free kick, they thought that Rice, for those that watch football, Arsenal played Madrid. Arsenal beat Madrid, Real Madrid 3-0, 3-0. And there's a player they call Rice. His name is Rice. He's called two free kick. So they thought that Rice could not pull the second one. They said it is impossible. As I was watching that match, I said it is impossible for Rice to convert this free kick. So on the internet is faster than the television I was watching. So before I played the free kick, I had goal on my phone. I said, wow. I now watch it on television. Wow. So people believe that Tinubu, what he did in Lagos, he cannot replicate it. It's a lie. He will not replicate it. He cannot replicate it. Federal government is not Lagos state. And you have seen, your eye don't clear what is happening. What is clear? What is happening? Whether you visit Buhari or not, see, whether the CPC is so angry with Tinubu or not, we are saying a certain person will have to be president for 8 years. Or else that is going to be... see, I want Tinubu to deal with the Fulani. That's my own. I know Tinubu is being partial. He's being partial. He's playing a Yoruba system. According to Verify, Yoruba federal government. We know. It's affecting the Southeast. Well, if you look at the Southeast, they are done with Nigeria. Look at it. Those that are clinging on to a political position, they are using it like, let's not, at least, we are forced to be in this union, so let's just, for the meantime. So, I'm not even looking at that area. The reason why I want Tinubu to even complete that 8 years is that deal with the Fulani. And the Fulani will never give up. See, you think that all these things that Erufai and Atiku, they are doing, they don't communicate. They communicate to themselves, even with the Buhari. They tell themselves a lot of things. And they are preparing for the future. Having said that, I believe that if you don't reform INEC, the main problem we have, the main thing that Tinubu will use to win the election is INEC. He's going to use the system to beat every other opposition. INEC. If you don't reform INEC, if you don't use the media to make sure that the people still have confidence in elections in Nigeria, voter apathy. The APC has tried as much as it can to plant division and hatred amongst voters. The APC, they have tried. They sponsor people online to create division and hatred, so the people cannot be united. And they know their base, they know their structure. They put their structure together, thereby destroying the structures of other people. You can see what is happening in Labour Party and the PDP. Since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu got into power, this party have been having crisis upon crisis. I've never seen the kind of crisis before. To the extent that NLC chairman Joe Ajero has mandated some of his officials to go and take over Labour Party offices nationwide. The Supreme Court judgment very clear. Somebody that is not a lawyer, if you understand English, you understand English language, and you can add 1 + 1, you know that Supreme Court judgment has really stopped Abure chairmanship. However, whatever they interpret it, you can see that NLC chairman Joe Ajero has mandated his officers to take over Labour Party offices nationwide. That would tell you the extent at which APC has been able to rattle the opposition parties. Having said that, let's move on to what is happening in Plateau State. In Plateau, bandits have taken over 64 communities in Plateau State. That's from the governor of Plateau State, Muftuang. He came out to say that we have made arrests. We have made arrests. We have gotten intel. We are not going to stop at just the arrests. We know that the people we arrested are the agents of these people that are sponsoring. We will make sure we get to the sponsors and break their ranks. The other time, an emir gave the Bororo Fulani 30 days to leave his community or they will hunt them down. So the social media, the awareness, the orientation is yielding fruits. See, the media is a powerful tool. If you don't know, unconsciously you are being programmed by the media or the things you watch or listen to unconsciously. When Yoruba Ronu started, they thought that these guys are just making noise. Somehow, some Yoruba leaders are now listening to the Yoruba Ronu, carrying out their actions. People are now subscribing to the Yoruba Ronu because they have been a consistent group spewing hate and ethnicity, ethnic bigotry. They have been a consistent group and they use the media. Why was Southwest powerful then? They used to call them in Badon media. The BBC used the media to paint the Nigerian Civil War, paint the Igbos as bad. They used the media. That coup, BBC put out a headline. And that headline indicted the Igbos. That's what led to the killings of thousands of Igbos in northern Nigeria because of the media. So the media is powerful. And one of the problems we have as Igbos is that we do not see the media as a tool for change. If not, we would have invested heavily in the media. But the Yorubas have taken over the media. But things are changing. The traditional media was taken over by the Yorubas. If I'm correct, I know Tribune is Yoruba. The Nation is Yoruba. The Sun is Igbo. Newswatch is Igbo. This Day is South. The Punch is Yoruba. Then the Leadership and others. So the traditional media, the journalists, the reporters and all have you taken over by the Yoruba people. But the social media, the influence of the social media is very, very powerful. Yoruba Ronu and other Yorubas are coming into the social media space to make sure they use it for propagation of their agenda setting. So the Fulani people are getting the message. Hausa people are getting the message. We are telling them that there is an agenda and they are discovering the agenda for themselves. That's why the Plateau governor can come out and boldly say that we have made arrests, we want you. This is not play. This is a genocide. He said this is a genocide, a calculated genocide. What is genocide? Some people want to erase a tribe, kill people and make sure that they don't exist. This is calculated and consistent over the years. Consistent. But we have Enugu state governor sitting there. He's not doing anything. He has not come out to say anything. And the people are not strong enough to shake him and rattle him. The people are not strong enough. When it comes to the next election, the people, Nigerians have been defeated. I've said it. Nigerians have been defeated emotionally, psychologically. They need a trigger. They need a trigger to be able to act. It is not the protest they are doing, that the orange beret are doing, the Chore and Co. These protests do not yield results. These are organized protests sponsored by the establishment. These are organized protests sponsored by the establishment. So these protests do not yield results. So we are not looking at those protests. We are looking at Nigerians, for instance, the governor refuses to speak. The people in every community and constituency will talk to their assembly representatives in the state assembly representatives. If they do not answer, they recall one, recall two. This is what we call activism, participatory politics. You participate in making sure that things get better. Well, are the people knowledgeable? Do people understand their roles when it comes to holding government accountable? You recall one or two assembly members, the speaker, his own constituency will disturb him. They will force to want to impeach the governor, let the governor stand on his toes, and he will adjust. But people will just sit down there. You think by just carrying placard, you know, go agree. See, all those placard protests doesn't work. People are just eating money from those placard protests. It doesn't work in Nigeria. You see what the Akpabi and Co have been accused of over Natasha case. They themselves that are there, they understand what Nigerians need to do. So there's a plan to recall Natasha. They will not go as these guys not going to start say we not go agree. They actively they plan. After you do your go agree, you take decisive action to recall them back from that seat. You can impeach the governor. Since the governor doesn't want to come out and do what he needs to do, you impeach the governor. They will take the process. The speaker will say, okay, negligence, insecurity, blah blah blah. They put it down. 7 minutes later, everybody start the process of impeaching the governor. When it happens to one governor in the southeast, the next governor that is going to come on will now awaken to his responsibility that when there's a killing of his people, he will not behave like Mba and come out to speak. Look at what the Plateau governor is coming to say. He's saying he's challenging the status quo. He's challenging the status quo. Now, moving on, we are having interesting, you see, the dynamics have changed. The way politics is being practiced has changed. And before I go there, there's also a report that Borno State Governor Zulum is lamenting that Boko Haram is gaining ground in Borno State. Boko Haram is the governor tried his best to make sure that state is peaceful, but now Boko Haram is gaining ground in Kogi State, in Borno State. Having said that, Niger Republic has rejected French and has adopted Hausa as its national language. Niger Republic rejects French and has adopted Hausa as its national language. This is a bold move it cannot be done by a civilian regime. Civilian regimes don't have what it takes to transform societies. I'm telling you, especially in African countries. Look at what the Burkina Faso man, Traore, said no country has developed under democracy. No country has developed under democracy. That is what Burkina Faso president said. Some of these giant, some of these bold actions, bold decisions taken by these military guys cannot be taken by a civilian regime. And I agree with the Traore that no country, especially African country, has developed under democracy. Now the last one is that Olubadan declares Sarkin Sasa title void, unrecognized by Ibadan tradition. Sarkin Sasa is a northern title in Ibadan, and the Sarkin Sasa has been constituting nuisance in that community, taking laws into his hands, disrespecting the people of the host community, the people indigenous of Ibadan. You see, in Plateau they said 64 communities were taken over by these guys. So that's how it starts. So the Yoruba traditional rulers are taking action. So void, the traditional ruler voids it. But it should not stop at that. Make a legislation. Let it be backed by law, because we are not running a monarchic system of government. Let it be backed by law. Let the state assembly Let them enact a law. I know it's going to affect the Igbo, Igbo, Ibadan. Everybody is defining their political space. I'm telling you, political space, political participation. Everybody is defining it, and it is good. Igbos that are going to Lagos, Igbo Lagos, blah 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 blah. No. Igbo chairman representing Igbo community. Chairman representing Igbo community, not Igbo Lagos. Chairman representing Hausa community. Go and develop the region of the southeast. Don't leave your father's house. I know some more people that are listening to me, they still get strong-headed. They will look, what does this boy know? The day I go hit some people, what does this boy know? What does this boy know? Sit down there, leave your place, and don't, I know what I've done, much more. I'm involved in politics in my own constituency. I'm involved in politics in my own constituency. We take decisive decisions on how to push. So I will start from somewhere. I'm much more interested in my own community. Children going to school, number of children going to school, number of children that are writing exams, number of children that will be giving scholarships, tech hubs, creating tech hubs, attracting, speaking to representatives at the House of Assembly on what we can do, having meetings with them. These are what we do in our own. We are developing our own. So all these people that are going to carry this and this and that, SNDbo, this SNDbo, see. This thing, before we purge it, it's going to be, it go long. But the Yoruba don't know. I don't support that movement. But they will do some things that will make sure that you are irrelevant in the southwest, so that you can be relevant. Even though that they are doing it out of hatred, bigoted hatred, but it will help you be relevant in the southeast. So Olubadan declares sacking Sasa title void, unrecognized by Ibadan tradition. Also add a legislation to it so that you can take police and arrest anybody that declares himself. You cannot carry your traditional people and go and do jungle justice, except you go spiritual. People go spiritual for whatever they're doing, to report people to deities or whatever. But you need to use the legal means. Look, let there be a legislation that will stop people from parading themselves as traditional leaders. We want restructuring. So the Yoruba don't help us restructure. We are supporting you. Help us restructure.